Hi! Welcome to this part of my review featuring Legend Quest Omnibus Edition. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review featuring this old school classic fantasy role-playing game, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about skills. Skills are the effective experience and all that the character has learned during his or her life. They are used along with the character's attributes in order to accomplish tasks. The more experienced the character is in the skill, the more skill levels the character will have, of course. These skill levels become more difficult to earn as they progress. Every time a character attempts an action that he or she is skilled in, the character can use the skill levels to add to the chance of success. Each skill level used adds 5% to the chance of success. Even if the character has no levels in the skill, he or she may still attempt it, using the attribute base and applying a minus 15% non-skilled modifier. There are two types of skills: regular skills and group skills. Regular skills are skills used by the character to accomplish a particular task. Group skills are skills used to perform a particular class of tasks. Group skills can be used by themselves to accomplish any of the skills within their group, or with regular skill levels as additional levels. When used with a regular skill, the levels in the regular skill and the levels in the group skill are added together to determine the total levels used in the chance of success. Even if used alone, group skills cancel the non-skilled modifier. It's also interesting to note that melee, range, and artillery are a special type of group skills called genre skills. Genre skills are group skills for group skills. These allow characters to use both the group skill and the genre skill when using a regular skill. Let's talk about the base attribute. Every skill has a base attribute. The base attribute is the attribute normally used to accomplish the skill's task. To arrive at the base chance of success, you multiply the character's rating in the base attribute by 10%. You may remember this from a previous part of the review. The base attribute will be used for most types of tasks in this skill, but not all. On very rare occasions, a different attribute will be used to compute the chance of success. For example, during a rough storm at sea, the characters may need to make a success test against seasickness. This would be a sailing skill test based on endurance, despite the fact that agility is the base attribute for sailing. Each skill has a point value attached to it. This point value dictates how difficult it is to learn that skill. The higher the point value, the more difficult the skill is to learn, and vice versa. The point value of each skill is used during character creation and improvement. It indicates how many character points will be needed to learn the skill and how many character points it will take to increase the character's knowledge of the skill. The point value is not, however, a linear progression. The higher the skill level, the more character points it will take to increase the level. Skill points follow the double thereafter rule. To learn the first level of a skill, the character must spend a number of character points equal to the skill's point value. To learn the second level, the character must spend an additional number of character points equal to the skill's point value. To learn the third level in a skill, the character must spend an additional number of character points equal to twice the skill's point value or twice the amount spent to receive the second level. To learn the fourth level in a skill, the character must spend a number of character points equal to 4 times the skill's point value or twice the amount spent to receive the third level. You have a chart showing this progression. In the rare case that a character was to lose skill levels, the only way to recover them would be to relearn them through training and spending character points as though they had just learned them for the first time. Let's talk about specific skills. Some skills are described as specific. This means that there are various regular skills described under this category. Skill levels in one of these skills will not aid in attempting another of the skills. For example, melee weapons is described as a weapon-specific skill. This means that every melee weapon, from knife to net, has its own strength-based 4-point skill. Levels in one, for example mace, will not aid in the use of another. For example, if you want to use dirk. These skills are not group skills. Most of the combat and magic skills fall under this classification. Now, when it comes to event-specific skills, they turn every regular skill into a group skill. They allow a character to become more proficient with a particular area of a regular skill, and therefore have more levels in the specific area than in the broad area of the skill. Group skills, power levels, and specific skills cannot have event-specific skills. Event-specific skill levels are added to the regular skill levels and therefore do not begin at level 1. To learn an event-specific skill requires only 1/3 the character points and training time that would have been needed to raise the regular skill. The character points needed are computed by looking at the skill improvement costs chart to find the number of character points needed for the next level and dividing it by 3. To raise an event-specific skill requires 1/3 the character points that would have been needed to raise the regular skill to the new level. If the character raises a regular skill for which he or she has an event-specific skill, both skill levels must be increased. A character may only have one event-specific skill per regular skill. They give a good example here. Mother Cricket is an experienced chef with 4 levels in cooking. To raise her cooking skill to a level 5 would require 32 character points. She decides to narrow her field and get an event-specific skill in apple pies. This will only cost her 11 character points. In this way, you can specialize your skills in subcategories, and that way, it won't be that expensive to purchase new skills. The Game Master must monitor all event-specific skills to ensure that they are reasonable and limited enough to justify the lower point cost. When it comes to strength skills, they are used for those tasks that require brute power. These include melee combat, swimming, mining, etc. The strength-based skills are fairly straightforward as each can easily be pictured. Then we have knowledge skills. They are those that rely on memory or deductive reasoning. These are the scholastic skills including reading, writing, bookkeeping, etc. Several of the craftsman skills are knowledge-based due to the intense amount of reasoning needed to perform the skill. Then we have endurance skills, which are based on the character's ability to withstand some type of urge. So these skills could apply to situations related to survival, holding your breath, and such. Endurance can be used as the base for other skills in unique situations, but it is typically used in some sort of defense. When it comes to willpower skills, there are no common willpower skills. Willpower is used as a defense against the psyche skills, and is rarely used to accomplish tasks. Then we have agility skills. They are those actions based on the character's ability to move. This can be as large a movement as sailing or as intricate a movement as sleight of hand. Armor interferes with agility skills so much that the character's agility is reduced by the armor's attribute reduction, even if the character is skilled in the use and wearing of armor. Agility is also used as a physical defense. When it comes to psyche skills, these are perhaps the most difficult to reduce to a die roll. The psyche skills are the social skills, leadership, carousing, etc. The factors or modifiers that can affect these situations are far too extensive to attempt to cover them all. It is better to roleplay these situations using die rolls to show the mood of the participants, more than letting the rolls stand by themselves. Psyche skills can be resisted and, if so, are typically resisted with the target's willpower. Resistance is usually the choice of the target. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part, I am going to give you some examples of these skills because there are many skills included in this book. I will also talk about injury, fatigue, and character death. As you can see, for the most part, the handling of skills in this role-playing game is quite simulationist, quite realistic. It rewards long-term play as the character becomes more proficient in different skills and tasks, and by further specializing in subcategories of skills that you can come up with related to any sort of context, any sort of situation, any sort of character background. That way, it won't be too expensive to level up in a particular subcategory of skills. Thank you for watching this part of the review. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that have been supporting the channel by sending right-through RPG gift certificates. If anyone else wants to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.